My name is Suzanna Wheeler, and my applied practice project preliminary topic presentation is titled Using Social Work Research to Inform Child Marriage Prevention Legislation. I chose this topic because child marriage is a largely hidden but deeply consequential issue in the United States, one that intersects with trauma, policy, and human rights. Child marriage exposes minors to conditions that align with what we in social work recognize as preventable trauma. In the U.S., between the years of 2000 and 2018, nearly 300,000 minors were legally married, most of them girls married to adult men, with the youngest being 10 years of age. This map from Unchained at Last shows the current legislative landscape across the United States. As of 2025, 16 states, Washington, D.C., and 2 territories have enacted complete bans on marriage under 18 with no exceptions. The other states maintain that minors can still legally marry through parental consent or judicial approval. In California, for example, there's no minimum age if a judge approves the marriage. These loopholes expose youth to coercion, interrupt their education, and perpetuate intergenerational trauma. Framing child marriage within the Adverse Childhood Experiences framework highlights it as preventable trauma. Early marriage correlates with depression, anxiety, intimate partner violence, early pregnancy, and poor health outcomes, patterns that mirror other ACE-related adversities. Child marriage often undermines statutory rape laws. In most U.S. states and under federal law, sex with a child that would otherwise be considered rape, in some cases felony rape, becomes legal within marriage. Girls who marry before 18 are far more likely to experience early and unintended pregnancy, which is linked to higher risk of maternal complications and poverty. By viewing child marriage through the ACEs lens, we understand it not as a cultural or moral issue, but as a preventable trauma that demands policy intervention. My research question asks, to what extent do complete child marriage bans reduce child and adolescent exposure to early marriage as a form of preventable trauma, and how do these legal reforms influence educational and health outcomes compared to states that retain exceptions? The goal is to evaluate whether policy reform functions as a trauma prevention mechanism, turning evidence into protection. The NASW Code of Ethics calls on us to advance service, social justice, dignity and worth of the person, human relationships, integrity, and competence. Child marriage prevention embodies all 6. It is both trauma work and policy work. For social work, this research strengthens our micro to macro continuum. It connects our clinical understanding of trauma with our ethical obligation to advocate for systemic change. Prevention, protection, and policy are interconnected, preventing harm, safeguarding autonomy, and shaping systems that reflect our ethical values and collective responsibility to protect children. My vision and the heart of this project is a society where prevention replaces repair, where every child's right to safety and development is upheld. This project aims to demonstrate how social work research can drive legislation that prevents harm before it occurs, ensuring that every child's right to safety is protected by law. Through research, advocacy, and ethical practice, social work has the power to transform legislation into prevention and prevention into protection. Thank you for your time.